Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla stock, let's go over the market. I'll give you my thoughts, the rundown, and what I think will happen next and all that good stuff. So as per usual, don't forget to hit that like button if you do enjoy this video and find it useful, helpful, informative, or whatever. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And of course, if you do enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc., I do share my thoughts with my members every single day the market is open. The link is down below, the first link in the description of the video. For just $3 a month, literally $3 a month, you get access to all my intraday thoughts, posts, updates, technical analysis, mainly on Tesla stocks, sometimes other stocks as well when I see opportunities, of course. Or for $5 a month, you get access to all of that, plus NVIDIA daily updates. The link is down below. A lot of people actually joined the NVIDIA tier not that long ago when NVIDIA crashed, but I'm doing my best to provide as much information in there as I can. That's hopefully useful. Now, jumping into a Tesla closing the day down, sorry, I'm so used to saying down. It's been down so often lately. Up rather 2.22%, closing at $392.21 per share. Now, quick PSA, I guess, whatever. I am still sick. My voice is still a little hoarse, so I'll make this video a little bit quicker. But yeah, let's jump into it. So, what does this mean moving forward for Tesla stock? Well, plain and simple, yesterday we talked about how we kind of arguably fell out of this wedge, but we also talked about how yesterday was a bit of a, not a day to, draw conclusions on, right? Because, it was a bit of a volatile day, right? A lot of, emotions in the market with the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, right? It definitely wasn't the day to draw conclusions on, like I mentioned yesterday, right? And today's a good example as to why that is, right? Nice little close today, right? Push above yesterday's high intraday, which was a good sign, which I told my members about, which is usually a sign of relative strength, at least short term. And that's all good news, right? And the fact that we closed back within this, what's it called? Wedge, I guess, if you will, this large daily wedge is a good sign, right? So, it doesn't mean that Tesla's ready to rocket. This is not like bullish confirmation, but what this does is it keeps the bullish, potential on the table. It is something still worth discussing while we are pretty much more or less within this wedge, if you will. So that's a good sign. I like that, right? And of course, obviously, because I also mentioned how we were pretty much near the bottom end of the Bollinger Band, potential double bottom, and the RSI was pretty much setting up a bullish divergence and almost oversold, those are the reasons why I mentioned how, despite, yes, technically us falling out yesterday, again, I wouldn't draw too many conclusions on it just yet, right? So what does this actually mean moving forward for Tesla stock though, right? Where's it going to go next? Well, because we closed back within and we closed above yesterday's high, that to me tells me the fact that Tesla stock sometime this week, again, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday, I don't know, maybe even early next week, but more than likely sometime this week, I wanted to come back up to at least around the, middle line of the Bollinger Band, which will pretty much put us somewhere around, 405, 407, which actually is pretty damn close to the top end of this, resistance point, if you will, of this massive wedge that we are in, this daily wedge, right? So, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a smaller run up, again, could be as early as tomorrow even, about another 3% or so. But that's where I expect resistance to come in and ultimately, most likely continue some relative sideways action, something like this for now, until again, we actually pick a direction, right? Now, the easiest way to really pick a direction, obviously the first way is, just simply closing and breaking out of this wedge is number one, but obviously it's not always perfect because, as you can see from yesterday's example, sometimes you need a little bit more than that, right? In my opinion, what would be more than that, and something that would really confirm a move up or down from here would be looking at the two major pivot points from the recent lows and highs. In my opinion, that would be most likely going to be this 420 up here. So essentially a break above this candle up here should signal the fact that the bulls are definitely, either in control or at the very least regaining control, and a move to the upside is more likely than not. In my opinion, probably closer to the 440s, best case scenario, short-term 460s. However, on the flip side, if we ever break down below and lose yesterday's low, which is again somewhere around 374, we'll say roughly, that to me will most likely signal that the bulls are losing momentum, the bears are instead gaining momentum, and we most likely will make our way back down somewhere to about 350s, which is going to be that more bearish outlook, if you will. Now, again, the way I look at it is also this, right? Again, I've said this before and I'll say it one more time. The reason I'm still not jumping up and down for joy and I'm not like, I think Tesla stock is going to 500 is mainly because, again, one thing I still don't like is the fact that I don't like, that we're still this far away from this reversion to the mean, right? Again, usually when a stock has these massive rallies for whatever reason, usually on earnings, right? But in this case, I think Tesla, it did have a good earnings, but obviously the presidential election, et cetera, it had a massive run up. Now, usually when a stock has these massive gap ups and run ups like this, and then it starts consolidating, that's good news. I think that is good news. I just don't think the stock is necessarily fully ready to rocket out just yet. Now, obviously, if we break above 420, maybe we can get a move up to 460, absolutely. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we still consolidate some more. And ultimately, to me, if we get the opportunity, of course, I'm not saying we will, but if we do get that opportunity, a move back down to about 350, that to me would be probably a very good risk reward scenario. Why? Because again, usually when a stock has these parabolic moves and is this far away from the mean, if you will, of the stock, or the reversion to the mean, right? What they'll usually do is they'll have this massive rally. Obviously, at some point the rally will end. It'll start consolidating, which is what we're doing now. But usually they consolidate roughly to or close to the reversion to the mean. I think Disney, kind of like what Disney. This is a pretty good example, right? This is where, and I entered Disney literally right here. Actually, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I actually, luckily, of course, there's obviously some luck involved, of course, but I did essentially time the bottom on Disney, right? Again, not trying to say I do this every time. I got lucky this time. But the main reason I did enter Disney here is because, I mean, I closed the window. I forgot what my average on Disney was. I'm pretty sure it was around like 107 something. But, again, massive rocket, right? Again, off of earnings this time, but just whatever the case may be, massive consolidation. And look at that. It consolidated pretty much right back into that reversion to the mean, right? Right back into it. And then it bounced from there. And obviously it has earnings tomorrow, so this can still go either way. But nonetheless, I'm already up a decent amount, right? And this is kind of what I'm talking about for Tesla stock. That's kind of what I want to see. But you can see it's not there just yet, right? It's close. It's getting there. It's not super far, honestly. But a little bit more to the downside. Maybe even 360, but maybe 350 is even better. That's where I'm just like, man, okay, now I'm very liking the risk reward. Up here, I have a position, I do have a position, but it's light. It's a light position. It's more of just like a just in case type position in case it does decide to rocket up. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because, there's not that much new to update on the daily chart that I haven't already updated. And this is just kind of my personal thought process on, slightly the more zoomed out approach, right? I like to see these kind of things happen like this. I like to see them consolidate back into the weekly reversion to the mean. That to me usually signals some pretty potentially good opportunities. And that's something I'm looking for. We'll see if it happens, but just kind of giving you my overall slightly zoomed out perspective, right? On top of that, we're very, very close to breaking down or crossing bearish on the MACD on the weekly, which could be something to watch out for as well, which is, again, even if it does cross bearish, it doesn't necessarily mean the stock has to crash, but it just signals the fact that momentum, it's a little bit dried up, right? Momentum's a little bit dried up, which is why again, I'm just not in the camp of someone that believes that Tesla stock is just going to go like this, right? I don't think it's going to go like up here, right? Not yet. I think it'll take longer than people are thinking. I think it'll take probably even a few more months before we get like a true move all the way up here. Again, short term, I still think a best case scenario is about 460. That's my short term best case scenario. I don't think we'll go too much higher than that. And I think there'll be a lot more consolidation than people expected, and most likely a lot of chop. But it'll be a large range of chop, but chop nonetheless. But anyways, I'm kind of rambling on. That's kind of my, again, more zoomed out perspective. But short term, I think we're back in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pop to about 405, 407. Honestly, maybe even tomorrow. I don't know when. Sometime this week maybe. But until we really break 420 or about 374 roughly, expect chop around here. Expect some chop. Nothing too crazy just yet. And just be patient, I guess, right? So again, just my opinion, not financial advice, just thinking out loud. But yeah, in terms of options flow, taking a quick look, pretty mixed overall, nothing really crazy, pretty light actually on the day as well for Tesla stock, nothing completely out of the ordinary. In terms of a confirmed options flow, 9 million confirmed bearish flow, nothing crazy for Tesla stock. So yeah, bit of a muted day, but nonetheless, that's my perspective. Let me know what you think. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.